We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. When Arthur Schopenhauer penned this maxim nearly 2 centuries ago, he likely never foresaw that his stark observation would become the most accurate and most tragic epitaph of our time. Are you truly chasing success? Or are you merely fighting with all your might to prove to a faceless world that you are not a failure? Pause for a moment. Let this question, like a cold, sharp probe, pierce the numbness of your daily hustle. We are living in an era where success has been utterly redefined. It is no longer the silent blossoming of inner worth, but a meticulously orchestrated, never-ending grand drama. It has its own stage, the infinite scroll of social media, its own script authored by algorithms and pop culture, and its own audience, a faceless crowd of strangers who are both judges and jailers. In this performance, in which everyone participates, each of us has, against our will, become an actor. The core of this drama is a collective unconsciousness known as the performance of success. It is no longer the inner sanctuary you quietly build through years of focus, discipline, and self-respect. It has long since morphed into a spectacle that must be broadcast, displayed, and quantified. You must wrap it in carefully selected filters, adorn it with catchy taglines, and sprinkle it with seemingly casual, humble brags. You cautiously maintain your persona, as if it were fragile porcelain. If you are not careful, this beast, fed by the gaze of others, will devour you, leaving nothing behind. Look around. Look at our digital lives. Every scroll of the finger tells us the same myth, the same anxiety-inducing template for success. There's the 25-year-old winner who achieved financial freedom, whose yacht party photos seem to mock your office cubicle. There's the globe-trotting digital nomad, sipping a cocktail against a Bali sunset, whose leisurely existence makes you question the meaning of your 9 to 5. There's the productivity guru who wakes at 4:30 a.m., whose schedule is packed with meditation, cold plunges, reading 5 books, and managing 3 online businesses all before lunch. His very existence is a silent accusation of your not trying hard enough. Success, in today's language, looks like the clouds outside a private jet window, the cold glint of a Rolex on a wrist, the tens of thousands of dollar entry ticket to an elite mastermind, and a picture-perfect lifestyle curated for TikTok and Instagram. Everyone, it seems, is crushing it. Everyone, it seems, is living their dream. Everyone, it seems, has a side hustle generating a 6-figure passive income. At least, that's how it appears. But here lies a vast, unsettling paradox, the elephant in the room that no one dares to mention. If so many people are winning this game, why does it feel collectively like we are all losing? Why are burnout, mental exhaustion, anxiety, and depression surging to unprecedented, all-time highs across the globe? Why are people in their 30s, 40s, even 50s, people who have dutifully followed the societal script, built careers, raised families, and checked all the right boxes, battling, in the dead of night, a silent war against an overwhelming exhaustion, a bone-deep emptiness, and a haunting sense that all of this is still not enough? The answer is chilling. Because we are caught in a brilliantly designed trap. What we are chasing is not true success, but merely the socially approved illusion of it. It is a desperate flight from the specter of failure. Part 2. The hidden cost when success becomes the trap of having. The cost of this chase is far heavier than we imagine. It's not just physical fatigue or a deficit of time. It erodes the very foundation of our being. A 2023 in-depth study of high-income earners in the U.S. revealed a staggering fact. Among those earning over $100,000 a year, nearly half reported that their lives lacked meaning and a sense of purpose. Think about what this means. These people, by all worldly standards, did everything right. They worked hard. They climbed the ladder. They reached the glittering summit of what we call success. Yet, when they stood at the peak and looked around, they found nothing there but a howling, cold wind and a deeper confusion. Because the crux of the problem is the very warning Erich Fromm gave us in his book To Have or To Be. Our entire society has quietly shifted from a being mode of existence to a having mode. Success in the being mode is about who we are. It's about continual growth, rich emotional experiences, deep connections with the world, and living out our authentic selves. This kind of success is an inner abundance that cannot be taken away. But success in the having mode is entirely about what we have. It equates human value with the possessions, titles, wealth, and prestige one accumulates. This is a fatal logic that defines internal worth by external things. It's subtle, yet it changes everything. When having becomes the goal, success becomes a perpetually moving target. You hit one goal, and it immediately recedes, becoming higher, further. You buy the dream car, and suddenly you need a bigger house to match it. Your income hits 6 figures, and the myth of the 7-figure earner begins to haunt your sleep. You achieve the perfect body, but soon you need a personal brand to prove that body's worth. It's like pouring water into a cup with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour, it will never be full. That hole is our deep-seated uncertainty about our own self-worth. And the game of having is built precisely upon that void. The design of modern commercial society is not to satisfy you, but to sell to you. It keeps you perpetually unsatisfied, keeping you running, performing, comparing. It turns your life into a giant scoreboard, and if you're not playing to win, you're playing desperately, not to lose. This is not freedom. This is a sophisticated prison disguised as ambition. And the most tragic part is that most people don't even realize they're trapped. They sincerely believe they are grinding for their families, chasing their dreams, building a legacy. But if you peel back the sugarcoating of these grand narratives, what they are truly chasing, at the deepest level, is recognition that fleeting, drug-like high that comes when someone else's eyes land on you with a flicker of approval and envy. And like any drug, that high wears off fast. It's like a firework in the night sky, a brilliant burst, then back to black. Then you need an even bigger dose of recognition to fill the ensuing emptiness. You know this feeling. You've felt it. That secret pang in your stomach when you see someone who seems to have more. That vague shame when you feel you're not keeping up. That voice in your head that constantly echoes. You should be further along by now. You should be better. Listen, that's not the spark of inspiration. It's insecurity disguised as ambition, whispering in your ear. Part 3. The addiction to recognition, how we get lost in the digital age. Recognition. The word sounds so harmless. A little validation, a bit of praise. It's only human, isn't it? But in today's world, it is mutated into a potent, psychoactive drug, and most of us are hooked without even realizing it. We engage in an unconscious ritual every day. We scroll through the highlight reels of others, then post our own, and then we wait for a like, a comment, a share. The moment a notification lights up, a shot of dopamine is released in the brain. It hits. For just a second, we feel seen, valued, as if we truly matter. And then it fades. So we chase the next hit. We sharpen the image, tweak the caption, tell the story in just the right way. Not for ourselves, not to record the truth, but for the gaze of others. Modern society has quietly rewired our neural pathways. It has shifted our focus from the internal to the external. Success is no longer something you feel. It's something others must confirm. Unless it's visible, measurable, and praised, it doesn't count. The depth of your life doesn't matter, but how well it performs on a screen does. And here's the trap. The more you rely on others to reflect your worth back to you, the less you trust your own reflection. You stop asking, "Do I feel proud of this?" and start asking, "Do they think I'm impressive?" You stop building a life that feels right and start curating a life that looks right. And the worst part? It never ends. Because no matter how much recognition you get, there's always someone with more, a bigger platform, a louder cheer, a shinier trophy. And so you hustle harder, not because you're inspired, but because you're afraid. Afraid of falling behind, afraid that if you stop for even a moment, the fragile illusion will crack and people will see who you really are. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask we wear to survive in society. It's not who we are, but who we think we need to be, to gain approval, to fit in, to be seen. And the more you build upon that mask, the more disconnected you become from the true self hiding behind it. You might look like you're thriving. You've got the title, the car, the followers. But deep down, you know it's not real. It's not coming from your core. It's not built on authenticity. It's built on performance. And because of that, it never feels like enough. You reach a goal, and the feeling fades. You reach another, and the same emptiness creeps back in. So you double down. You think, maybe I need more money. Maybe I need to reinvent myself. Maybe I just haven't pushed hard enough. But the problem isn't the size of your goal. It's the hole it's trying to fill. And that hole can't be filled by achievements. Because the more you rely on success to validate your identity, the more fragile your identity becomes. Your self-worth starts hanging on outcomes. Your confidence gets tied to applause. Your peace depends on metrics you can't control. It's like pouring water into a cup with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour, it's never full. Part 4. True liberation. The courage to have nothing to prove. We've been taught to think of success as a mountain, a climb, a summit. You hustle, you grind, you sacrifice. And one day, if you're lucky, you reach the top. But maybe we've had it all wrong. What if real success isn't a peak to be reached, but a state of being to be entered? It's not the point where you have the most, but the point where you stop needing more. Not where you prove something, but where you finally don't need to prove anything at all. That's the shift. Success isn't about climbing higher. It's about knowing when to stop climbing. It's the quiet confidence of someone who no longer needs the world to clap for them, who can sit in a room alone, unfiltered, and still feel whole. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't need an audience. Because real success is not what others see. It's what you see when you look in the mirror. Do you respect the person staring back? Do you know them? Do you trust them? That's rare in today's world. We're so busy being what others want us to be, we forget who we are. We put on masks, we build personas, we become characters in our own story. Polished, impressive, hollow. Carl Jung called this the persona, the version of ourselves we present to the world. But behind it, always, is the shadow, the parts of us we hide, deny, or reject. And here's the paradox. The more you ignore your shadow, the more it controls you. The more you avoid facing yourself, the more lost you feel, even in your brightest moments. True success comes not from escaping that shadow, but from turning toward it, owning it, integrating it. When you stop running from the parts of you that feel unworthy and start accepting them, you become whole, and that's when the chase ends. Let me give you an example. There's a man who spent years building a career that impressed everyone top school, high salary, perfect resume. But every night, he came home feeling empty. He couldn't explain it. He had everything he was supposed to want, but none of it felt like his. One day, he left, not in some dramatic blaze, but in a quiet, intentional step away. He started painting again, something he hadn't done since college. No one clapped, no one cared, but for the first time in years, he did. That man didn't give up. He woke up. He stopped chasing the version of success the world sold him and started listening to the version that spoke from within. That's freedom. When success is no longer about achievement, but alignment. Not about being impressive, but being authentic. It's about knowing your value even when no one's watching. It's about feeling enough, not because someone said so, but because you finally believe it yourself. And that kind of success, it doesn't come with a trophy. It comes with peace. So maybe the question isn't, how do I win more? Maybe it's, what can I finally let go of? Maybe real success isn't the top of the mountain. Maybe it's the moment you stop climbing and start coming home to yourself. So let me ask you something. When you wake up every morning and chase what you call success, are you doing it for you, or because deep down you're afraid of what you'd be without it? Are you building a life you truly believe in, or just trying to outrun the fear of being seen as a failure? Be honest, because if you need success to prove you're worthy, then maybe you've never really believed you were worthy at all. And if that stings, it's okay. Let it. Sometimes the truth hurts before it sets you free. But that freedom is waiting. Not in the next trophy. Not in the next post. It's in you. Right now. Waiting to be remembered. So don't scroll past this. Sit with it. Let it work on you. And if it speaks to something true, live like it. You don't have to keep running. You already matter. Now, act like it.